We've been talking a lot about iPhone leaks lately, but you know what we haven't talked a lot about lately? Pixel 3 Lite leaks. Remember Pixel leaks and how that was like all that happened for a few months last year? Well, they're coming back a little bit, and I'm getting kind of deja vu because it appears someone already has a prototype version Pixel 3 Lite that they unboxed and showcased on video, and this is all just too similar, except we know the ending of this very, very bizarre story. So today we're going to be talking about this channel's first-hand impressions of the Pixel 3 Lite. So essentially, we got pictures a while back showcasing that it had this plastic body. It was returning the headphone jack, but on the top of the phone, even though the fingerprint reader indicates they want you to keep the phone facing downward in your pocket. Fairly sizable chin and forehead, but hey, they look fairly symmetrical. That signature colored power button that goes with the Pixel 3, and supposedly a fairly decent camera that has all of those same pixel advantages that you're used to in a cheaper form factor. I don't know if you guys remember, but let me transport you to last year a little bit and remind you that the Pixel 3 was available to people a full 2 months before the product was actually unveiled. It was rumored to come out October 4th. It ended up being the October 9th, but 2 months before that keynote date, there were already people uploading unboxings and hands-on impressions with the Pixel 3, which means that essentially with the Pixel 3 Lite, Google hasn't really learned their lesson about how to poorly market a product, which is essentially let everyone have it early, let certain weird tiny YouTube channels have access to it so that we can speculate on it, and then actually release the thing, and yeah, 60 days in advance we knew exactly what it would look like and everything it would be. The specs of the Pixel 3 Lite showcase the Snapdragon 710, which is, I imagine, given I've seen how laggy and how often apps would crash on the Pixel 3 XL's Snapdragon 845, the 710 likely is not going to be much different, and I'm very curious if the user interface of the Pixel 3 Lite is going to change any, or if they're going to alter the skin a little bit so that it can accommodate some of the weaker specs. But knowing Google and how optimization works, particularly Pixel Slate, which came out in the last couple months of 2018, they're likely not going to try to optimize this thing at all. So I would recommend anyone who's interested in the Pixel 3 Lite, be ready for some lag, okay? Be ready for some stuttering, because that may be very possible with this phone. Despite the chin and forehead being fairly sizable, there are also no front-facing speakers. They are completely abandoning that with the more budget model. And as we've seen some from earlier leaks, there are rumored to be 2 different sizes of the Lite model. So yeah, we have right now the Pixel 3 and the Pixel 3 XL with the horrendous notch, but then we also have upcoming, probably in the next couple months, Pixel 3 Lite and Pixel 3 Lite XL or XLL, extra large and also light. But once again, even though this person has their first hands on a prototype, you notice that the logo on the back is not the regular Google logo, but this is the exact same thing that was happening back when the Pixel 3 was leaking earlier than the keynote happened. We were seeing these prototype images that Google uses in the past when they have a test phone that is not an official launch. They will use these different logos, which essentially confirms this is a prototype. Obviously, it's not an official release, which means that if things play out the same way they did last year, we should be seeing the release of the Pixel 3 Lite likely in a couple months, probably at the same exact time that Samsung is going to be dropping the Galaxy S10, and boy, I can't wait for that Android slaughterfest. Super futuristic looking phone with camera cutout and hole punch displays and modern versus phone that has Pixel branding on it. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting competition to see. But I still think it goes without saying that what will make or break the Pixel 3 Lite is inevitably the price. And knowing Google with their Pixel 3 flagship phones right now, it seems that most people would deem them as fairly overpriced, starting at $800 and the Pixel 3 XL costing $900, missing a lot of features that we're used to seeing on Androids for much, much cheaper, especially with the existence of OnePlus 6T. That's probably the biggest competitor that the Pixel has right now. So you can get a phone with a fairly stock Android experience, plus a ton of other features for literally like almost $300 less. So the Pixel 3 Lite, I think, has to be incredibly cheap, incredibly affordable if Google expects them to sell or do well in any form of market. It's very possible, as some are saying, that the Pixel 3 Lite might be region-based, which means that it won't even be here in the United States available for purchase. They are simply going to be manufacturing these in India, because that means they can keep the price lower over there, and these these will just be exclusive to either China or India markets, and over there they'll be very affordable phones, and perhaps they'll be somewhat popular. But Google, for the sake of trying to keep their premium flagship name brand of the 3XL, they'll try to keep that exclusive. They will keep that the only Pixel phone here in the US, and the Pixel 3 Lite will never come to Europe or the United States. That's entirely possible. We don't know at this time. Since I am, of course, an official Team Pixel member, I will do my best to contact the people who sent me my first Pixel 3 and see, can you guys send me another one, because I am very interested in seeing how this thing handles basic apps. Maybe it can run Chrome better than my 3XL could. We'll find out. But the good news is probably that to those people out there who love the Pixel basically for the camera, and that's about it. You just love the bokeh, you love the color calibration, and you love the sensor of that camera. If the Pixel 3 Lite ends up having just as good a camera as the regular Pixel 3, then great. It just became cheaper to get your favorite smartphone camera just for that feature, because Pixel 3 Lite could end up costing maybe in the US like $500, $400. I still think that's kind of high given what you're getting out of that phone. It should probably go even lower and be more competition with like the Poco phone, given how little you're getting out of that purchase. But it's quite bizarre, and I think it's very, very sad that after the whole marketing stunt that Google tried to do with the Pixel 3, you know, remember when they were tweeting like, so you think you know everything? And there were a ton of YouTubers out there that were convinced the Pixel 3 must be like fake. They want us to think that the 3XL is real, but in reality, there's something special. The Pixel Ultra, it's going to change what? No, keynote happened. It's exactly what we thought. There were no surprises. Google wasn't smart about their marketing. They weren't sent out faking devices. None of that was real. But then the Pixel 3 Lite is doing all of the same thing again. They learned nothing from this. So if Google tries to hype up the release of the Pixel 3 Lite or tries to make you think it's going to be exciting or anything, please take note of what happened last time and keep all expectations low. Keep them down at the floor and don't expect anything that drastic to happen, because Google clearly isn't learning from their mistakes. But what are your impressions of the Pixel 3 Lite based on these hands-on videos? Do you think it looks good? Do you think it could do well for certain markets? All that good stuff. Let me know what you're thinking down in the comments below. This is your Apple Sheep here. I'll see you in the next one.